Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm back. I'm sorry for the little delay. I had to set up the I had to set up the page for donations, which, just to make it very clear, there's a link to donations in this video. Hey guys, for anybody who's just joining, thank you so much for being here. I'm doing a little special month of streaming dedicated to a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. This month marks the annual AIDS Walk in New York City, and it is one of an incredibly important cause. There's still so many people around the world who are suffering from HIV and AIDS, and a lot of people who, unfortunately, in places where they don't have access to the resources and life-saving medication. So this is a cause that is just infinitely important. I hope that you can, if you possibly are able to, donate. There's a link in the description to my AIDS Walk team. I'm working on the title, but so far we just put Warrior Allies, wearing red in honor of the AIDS Walk month. Please, if you can, take a look at the link in the description. Donate if you possible at any point this month. We'll be doing a virtual AIDS Walk with a couple loved ones in a nearby park in our neighborhood. That way we can all be there together. But yes, want to do something very special for this month and play some games that are very near and dear to my heart. Games that I feel are some of the most memorable, and they're all memorable, but the games that I played as a kid. But there are certain games in particular that really stuck with me and really touched me deeply in an emotional sense. And really just stood with me over those years, and really just, that I hold near and dear as the most memorable gaming experience of my childhood. And one of those games is Rayman 2. Rayman 2 is one of the most influential platformers in gaming history. This is a game that revolutionized 3D platforming. Along with the likes of Tomb Raider and Super Mario 64, Rayman 2 really set the standard for what 3D platforming was going to be. And it really just revolutionized things, no puns intended. This particular version is Rayman 2 Revolution, so this is actually sort of a soft remake of Rayman 2. Original version was on the N64. And then the next version is was released on like PlayStation 1 and PC. Well, actually, no, PC, then PlayStation 1, a couple other versions. And then eventually the Rayman 2 Revolution came out, and this version was like a soft remake. So they changed a lot of aspects of the game. Instead of there being like this Hall of Doors hub where you would just travel from stage to stage, or Isle of Doors as it's called in the Dreamcast version, which a lot of people consider to be the most the top version of the game. This game has this sort of hub world, sort of open world situation, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, let's get into it, guys. I'm gonna click on New Game. I'll just stick with Rayman. Oh, never mind. Wait, let me go back. There we go, Rayman. I love Rayman. Honestly, Rayman is one of my favorite all-time video game characters. It's a real shame that the franchise is sort of like non-existent now. It makes me sad because he was Oh, by the way, I'm playing the actual. So this isn't. This isn't the disc itself, but ISO of the disc that I made from this actual disc.
You must escape, Rayman. You are our only hope.
Such an epic. One thing I really love about this game is the soundtrack is just so beautiful. It's like you're watching a film, like a fantasy film. And so the pirates are the main bad guys in this game, and they are.
I have sent you help.
So, reason I'm playing this on emulator, not only because it upresses the graphics to 1080p, which is really cool. There are patches for this game on the PS2 emulator for PC that make it widescreen and also run at 60 frames, which is really cool. This is when Glowbox finds Rayman. Aw, because Rayman was captured.
Not really. I feel weak and my powers have disappeared. This might be the end.
Aw.
No fear. Glowbox bring good gift from Lee. Lee? The fairy? Silver pearl. Incredible. I can feel its energy building up in me. Glowbox received. My fist is back to full strength.
Yeah, so Rayman 2 is infamous in this series for being, for a lot of people, consider the best point in the series, but also for adding a much gloomier and more kind of dark tone compared to the rest of the series, but still with the humor and cuteness that comes with the series as well. So one thing that was really funny and interesting about this version, so Rayman doesn't start with his signature shooting ability, which, well, okay, it's not signature shooting ability, rather. He is actually known more for fighting with his like extending his fist and fighting that way. This game stands unique in that sense that Rayman fought with his fist, but with shooting energy balls from his fist instead of it just being straight up his fist. Now, this version of the game has Rayman start out with just swinging his fist, though, which is interesting. He gets the shooting ability, though, not too long after, so it's kind of funny that they chose to do that. So yes, now Glowbox and Rayman are escaping from the prison ship. Oh, you know what, guys? Sorry, give me 1 sec. I forgot to put the link to the stream and the places where it's supposed to go. Sorry, guys, 1 second. Alright, guys, we're back. Sorry, I just had to update the link. um. Oh, hey, Steve-O, thank you so much for being here. I'm sorry that I didn't see that just now. I'm very happy you're home. Yes, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I was, you know, I just want to make sure you got home safe. I'm very happy to hear that. Hey, Rayman, glad to see that you escaped. Okay, so for those of you just joining us, we're playing Rayman 2 Revolution. Wonderful, beautiful game that I got as a lovely gift from my parents as a kid. um, funny fact, this is actually the second version of Rayman 2 that I ended up getting because I accidentally thought it was a different game and asked my parents to buy it for me. But I'm very grateful they did that. Glowbox and Rayman have just escaped from the prison ship where Admiral Razorbeard and his evil pirates are, managing their world takeover plan. Well, they basically took over the world, or aka the Gate of Dreams, and now Rayman and his friends have to save the world. Hi, Taina. Thank you so much for joining. Happy to see you here. I'm Murphy, and I'm here to be your guide. So now, Rayman meets Murphy for the first time, and this is basically essentially like the tutorial of the game. For some reason, their audio is very low. The reason I opted, there's so many different versions of Rayman 2. I opted to play this version because, this is a version that I really love. I mean, they have the PS1 version as well, but unfortunately, that game does not play well on emulation. It has like a weird repeating sound effect. Like I say, if I was to throw like a energy ball, it would essentially like repeat it for a little while, the noise. Very strange. And we're playing this with the PS5 controller, by the way. And with the ISO of the original Rayman 2 Revolution disc, which is very awesome. So, yeah. Let's get on and play. Let's see. Now I could hear their audio a little more. For some reason, the audio was a little bit high. But yeah, I have to play this version because for me, this version is definitely superior to the PS1 version. And is actually one of the best versions of the game. Probably the Dreamcast version might just be a little bit better, but I think this version is better. I mean, honestly, I personally love the things they added, like the hub world and stuff. A lot of fans of the franchise are not big. Some fans of the franchise are not big on the addition of the hub world. They thought it was like unnecessary padding, but I think it was really, really interesting to see that hub world and see them like kind of breathe new life into the game. But yeah, the Dreamcast version is pretty cool though. I have played it. I emulated that game. It's really good. But the good thing is Revolution has all the mini games from the Dreamcast version, but the PS1 and PS2 versions are the only ones that have like actual audio dialogue. The other versions have like this Raymanian language, as they call it, which is like the gibberish language. And a lot of people prefer the gibberish language, but I love their audio dialogue because I played the PS1 version first, which was the first one that had audio dialogue. And then, of course, the PS2 version followed in suit and, had audio dialogue as well. Is Luna watching? That's so true. Oh my god, is she watching me play? I love when she watches me play. So, yep. So, Rayman has just learned that Lee, the fairy who is a very powerful ally of his, she's been captured and he has to free her. I love Murphy. A lot of these characters come back in Rayman 3, but their personalities are so different. They're like much sassier, especially Murphy. Murphy's like a total sassy MF for some reason. Yes, I love this whole climbing ability that you can do that. So, fun fact about Rayman 2, all the different versions that exist, most of them are pretty consistent with the level design except for the PS1 version. And this version actually changes things a little bit too. But I love the teensies. So this world, like Glade of Dreams, this beautiful world that Rayman lives in, has all these interesting little creatures and peoples. And the teensies are these funny little people who just have these squeaky voices and yeah, it's really funny. Their voices are too funny. Oh yeah, so Glowbox also he has to find. I forgot that he lost track of it. Oh, Luna's watching! Yay! I'm so happy when she watches. I love it. She is the best. Not gonna. Well, she's so sweet. They like recapture Glowbox immediately. Yeah, so now the whole goal they're what they're trying to do here is they're trying to guide Rayman to the Teensy Circle where there's essentially like these portals that'll transport him places once he finds them on the actual hub world. Yeah, so now he can shoot with the fist, which is I always wonder why they didn't allow him to shoot with the fist for like those first 10 minutes of the game and then just immediately give him the ability to shoot with the fist again, like because in the other versions of the game he can shoot with the fist like immediately. Oh, she's having a snack. Oh, Luna, she's the cutest little kitten. Beautiful gray with stripes, and then she also has this like snowy underbelly and snowy like snout. Like she's white underneath, but then like gray on top with stripes. It's adorable. So yeah, another criticism a lot of fans of the game had about this particular version, well not a lot, but some, like this game is like beloved by 65% of the fan base and then kind of criticized by the 35%, or like maybe 50-50 more so, but still like 65 and... That's so cool. In the other versions of the game, it's blue lums instead of... the lums are, by the way, for anybody who wasn't watching, the lums are the heart of the world. We should have her in the stream one of these days. Oh my god, we totally should. Oh my god, she's so adorable. She is like the cutest ever. So this is still essentially part of the tutorial. Oh wow. I wish that Instagram would allow you to put 2 links in your bio. I hate the fact that I felt like I had to choose between putting the link for... Find the King of the Teensies by the stone circle. You can read the arrow signs when you get close. So, yeah. So Rayman has to find the Teensies, the people that he just freed by what they call the stone circle, which is... There's these circles. Oh, perfect. That's so cute. It would be perfect. But, okay, so... There are these stone circles where the Teensies are able to create portals, or portals are created to the levels in the game once Rayman has found them in the actual hub world. So you go and find the entrance to the level in the actual world, and then once you beat the level, the portal to the level is created here in the stone circle. Different stone circles, by the way. This is the first of 3 in the game. There's 3 of them. But I love that about this version. Some people don't like that about this version, but I love that you can actually look for the like levels in the real world. It makes everything feel like an actual big like connected world. I do like the Hall of Doors though, for simplicity. I do get that. The Isle of Doors is probably my least favorite, but not the thing that's bad. I just like that the Hall of Doors a little more than the Isle of Doors, just because it shows like a little preview of each level before you get into it, which is cool. But my favorite has to be Rayman 2 Revolution's hub world. Really cool. Mm-hmm. I love how there's like these, it could give you objective updates, which I think is really cool. I like that you can update you can check what you're supposed to be doing. Nolan loves Rayman. Yeah, he really does. Oh my god, it's so cute. So Nolan is an adorable little baby, and he loves Rayman. And so 60 FPS patch on this game makes it slow down in some places like this where there's a lot going on, but it only lasts for a little. Not that it only lasts, but it's only for a bit, and then eventually, once you get to a new area, it's back to normal. Yeah. So the Minosaurs are these like creatures that apparently the pirates have pissed off. So the fairy glade is this way. And they've been acting strange ever since the pirates took over the world. And so we just found the entrance to the fairy glade. So this is where Lee, the fairy, is being kept. She's crucial to the survival of this world and the mission at hand. She's incredibly powerful, though. She's been zapped of a bit of her power, which is a real shame. Aww. Sorry. Let's see. Alright, so I kept him hanging there for a minute now. So yeah, okay, so here's Rayman. So for those, anybody just catching this stream, Rayman 2 Revolution. We're playing on behalf of the AIDS Walk this month. I'm going to be streaming this game. I'm trying to play it to completion, which will be super cool. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I hold it very near and dear to my heart. And it'll be great to play this to completion in honor of AIDS, the AIDS Walk this month. So we're gonna be taking donations the entirety of this month on this page. The link to donate is in the link in the description. Please donate if you can. We should do a 2-player game and stream it. Yes, we totally should, Steve-O, like we did for Miss Pac-Man in honor of our beloved friend who we lost earlier this year. You know, we should definitely do a special stream in honor of you know, in honor of the cause of the AIDS Walk this month. A 2-player game. We could even do the games online and actually. So, oh, sorry to sidetrack really quick, but I swear they sound like Todd and Rod from freaking The Simpsons. No, but those are Glowbox's kids. Yeah, they have like these squeaky voices. It's funny because the voice acting for Rayman 1 and Rayman 2 sounds very different in a lot of ways, but some people sound similar. But anyway, the Rayman 1. Oh yeah, you know, we could actually stream you know, Rayman Origins later this month. I mean, or another time, which would be great. Rayman Origins is a awesome, you know, little 2-player game. Or Rayman Legends, actually. Rayman Legends would probably be better because they have it for the Switch. And it's easier. to stream. Rayman Origins, I have it for the for the PS3, but I'm having trouble for some reason streaming on the console. I also got it with Xbox Live on the Xbox, which is really cool. But yeah, it's just probably easier to stream from the Switch. So, oh yeah, these are the pirates, by the way. I forgot to introduce them earlier. Yeah, they're the signature bad guys in this game. It's interesting because they're robot pirates. So they're pirates, but they're robots, which is a fun little invention of an enemy that they made. It's like robot pirates. Who would have thunk it, right? But they're iconic now. I mean, they're like definitely they went down in the Rayman pantheon as like some of the most iconic enemies in the history of the series. And of course, Razorbeard, who's like the king of the robot pirates, is or their captain rather. He's admiral actually. He's total D word. Oh, we could do the Xbox. Yeah, that's true. We could do the Xbox also if we want to do Rayman Origins. Because Rayman Origins is Legends is great, but Rayman Origins definitely I have a soft spot for that one because they brought Rayman back after a long hiatus. You know, between Rayman, you know, Raving Rabbids, which isn't technically like a mainstream game, between those games and Origins, there wasn't any real Rayman games aside from like maybe Rayman M and Arena. But that was the first mainline game in the series in a while. For you could probably tell, by the way, if you're watching. Wait, no, I was gonna say something before I started talking about Rayman Origins and stuff, and about the kids sounding like Rod and Todd. Oh, that we could do that special stream. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think of what I was trying to say a moment ago. No, but yeah, we could do those special kind of multiplayer games for the month of May. You know, it'll be nice to play like we could play the games online. Oh yeah, so we could play the games online, like some games, let's say on the Switch online, for example, or you know any game online essentially, and we could connect our I could connect our my dear friend Stevo there through Discord, and we could just play like that. It would be super cool, and then we could do them in person too, like we do Miss Pac-Man. But we could also do it online on other days, aside from in person. You know, do other days we do it online, and we could connect through Discord and you know like have ourselves talking as we play the game. And do like sort of like conversational stream, which would be super fun. I mean, we could even involve bringing other people into the mix, you know, like some of our buddies. That's what I meant to say before I started talking about the kids sounding like Simpsons characters, Rod and Todd. So let's see. Oh yeah, so now we're getting closer to Lee. Yeah, Lee the Fairy. She was actually one of my favorites, which is a real shame why I was kind of upset that they didn't bring her back in Rayman 3. You know, she was a total badass. And they have characters that sort of look like her in Rayman Origins. You know, the fairy style in Rayman is very consistent across games. You know, even in Rayman 1, which was a 2D side-scroller, which Rayman 2 is... I mean, Rayman... Not Rayman 2, sorry, Rayman Origins is as well. They have the fairies that look like Lee, but you know Lee herself just never comes out. I mean, there's a statue of her, I think, in Rayman 3, but like it's so strange that she was absent. She was supposed to appear in the game apparently, but for some reason they like cut her out of it, which is a real shame. But it's funny because so many of the characters from Rayman 2, because Rayman 2, I mean, yeah, like so many characters from Rayman 2 come out of Rayman 3. Rayman 3 is basically like a sort of a direct sequel to Rayman 2, albeit the enemies are very different. You know, instead of it being about the robot pirates, because they're basically been eradicated, it's about the hoodlums, these hooded kind of weird, these beigely hooded guys who look kind of look like the what's the name of the Sandman? No, Scarecrow from Batman. Sorry, you look like the Scarecrow from Batman. That's what I meant to say. And and they're led by like the black lums, like these bad lums, like that are sentient. So the lums, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. The lums are like the pieces. The yellow lums are the pieces of the heart of the world that got scattered when the pirates destroyed the heart of the world before the game begins. Like during the intro sequence, they explain that. Um, so Rayman has to collect these a thousand lumps, and essentially, like after the game ends, they return them to the world. You know, they return them to the heart of the world, which is interesting. But oops, the animation he makes when he gets electrocuted is so cute, but I feel so bad. He's just getting so horrendously zapped. Uh-oh. Ah, dang it. Alright, we're trying to rescue Lee. She's nearby. I remember this part of the game. There she is. I'm trying to, like... There we go.
Bring Rayman. Find the machine and destroy it.
I always thought that hurt. For some reason, the auto... That made me laugh so much as a kid because for some reason it sounds like she's saying and enjoy it instead of and destroy it. I don't know why. It's like they kind of messed up, I guess, a little bit of the editing with her voice. Or maybe the line just comes off kind of funny. It's not that they messed anything up. Maybe it's just kind of funny. Anywho, yeah, so this section is interesting. So we have to come back and forth 3 times with this barrel that we're able to throw, all while dodging these pirate little floating bombs. Well, not so much dodging them, we're just like shooting at them and destroying them before they can hit us, because if they hit us before we get to the little band-aids then unfortunately, we don't get to destroy them. And Lee stays trapped. So, I love that little musical cue. Nolan loves that. My, this adorable baby named Nolan loves it when they do that in the game. I showed him some footage of this on YouTube. He's a family member of ours. I mean, he's my nephew. I don't know why I shouldn't. I just feel so bad, not saying that he's not, not saying who he is. I just like try to be private about family and stuff on here, but it's just like he's such an adorable baby. And I just thought it's weird if I just talk like saying that because this baby's my friend. It's like what the frick. So yeah, my adorable nephew. Oh yeah, so Lee is freed, and her musical cue is amazing. The soundtrack in this game is just unbelievable. It's like hearing a beautiful fantasy film. It's so orchestrational. Fun fact though, there are 2 versions of it. The N64 and the DS versions of this game have the original version of the soundtrack, which is more kind of a MIDI track. And the PC and the other versions have this orchestrated, larger, more boasty version, which I love. I love them both, but this one is just so beautiful. Like Lee's theme alone, just listen to this theme. It's just such a beautiful, like fantasy, whimsical, like track that just has this epic quality to it.
They built the primordial energy core into 1,000 beings, combining the energy with storing energy. But there may be another solution. Have you ever heard of politics? He's the spirit of the world. His power is immense. He could help you defeat the pirates. Unfortunately, he's been sleeping for many years. But there is a
She sounds like Rosario Dawson. I don't know why. So this is where the main plot of the game is introduced. Rayman has to find these 4 masks, and they'll awaken Polycus, who's the spirit of the world, who will be powerful enough to eradicate the pirates. So Lee's giving him a new power now. I love when she would appear and give you powers like this. It made me so excited to see what she was going to give you next. I love this mechanic. So it's a mechanic where you swing at the purple lumps. So you shoot at the purple lums and you're able to swing, which is freaking awesome, man. It's like such a dope little mechanic they threw in. And it feels so fun. Like you just swing off these little purple lums and it's like, it's such a dope little addition they made to the game. And it's so dope. Oh my god. It's such a fun thing though at moments in the game because there's parts where you have to swing like over these like giant chasms and things like that, and it's like really cool. Another criticism they had about this game was that the loading screens were kind of long compared to the other versions like the Dreamcast, but I don't think they're that bad, honestly. Maybe it's faster because it's on emulation. So I think after the Fairy Glade, I might call it a night. I just don't want to... Oh, I forgot to defeat that pirate. I love the music in this game, man. I'm telling you. Like, Lee's theme was gorgeous. And then, like, the little musical cues and scores that play with the pirates. It's, like, awesome little sense of action and, like, badassery. And then, of course, like, just the theme song. It's just gorgeous. So when you hear it in the menu, it's just so whimsical and freaking... like majestic. It's like it's the score of like a classic fantasy film, an epic fantasy film. And yep. So oh yeah, Rayman is too cute. Yes, he really is. He's adorable. He's one of my favorite childhood superheroes. Honestly, I consider him like a big time hero back in the day. That's so awesome. Spoiler alert, by the way, there is a point in the game later on where you get a flying power from Lee, but it's temporary. Because, unfortunately, I guess it would have broke the platforming aspect of the game, so they don't allow you to keep it. You know? Uh-oh, floating pirates. Oh, another thing I love. Every time your power gets increased in this game by one of Lee's, like, power thingies, power silver lums, you're the... well, not every time, but there's critical moments in the game where your shooting power, the color of it changes. Which I think is really cool. Nostalgic vibe listening to the score and the gameplay. I know, my god, the score of Rayman 2 makes me so nostalgic, I'm telling you. It's so just beautiful, and it's just a beloved childhood memory, you know? I mean, it holds up to this day. I mean, this game still plays amazingly by today's standards even, and it's, you know, they're fine. Some of the stuff could come off clunky, but not even, honestly. I think most of it comes off really smooth. It's a game that people today could pick up and that have never played it before and find it very fun. And, you know, and they'll find, like, you know, they'll love, like, the quality of it just holds up so much. Like, the musical score, just like a cinematic masterpiece. A fantasy cinema masterpiece, and also like just the characters and the world that was built, you know, the whimsical, dark, but at the same time whimsical and fantastical nature of the whimsical nature of the world they built is really something. Woo! Uh-oh. The flying power is so freaking badass when you get later on. Fun fact though, I don't know if this happens in any other version of the game aside from the PS1 version, but the flying power when you get oh yay swinging when you lose the flying power, unfortunately, like not the helicopter, because the helicopter you keep throughout the game. The helicopter is this ability to like for Rayman to move his hair in a manner that allows him to float down into places instead of like falling down. So those spiral doors, funny thing, were part of what was originally the Hall of Doors in the original part of the game. I love this. I love the little teensy dance they have to do to get to the end of the level. I always love that. It's just so freaking adorable. And that little song they play that's like a little guitar, like it's just so adorable. Oh yeah, so you have this hover ability called the helicopter for the entirety of the game. And then you at one point Lee gives you the ability to fly with it, but it's temporary for that one level because you need it for that one level to fly. But because the way the level's built, you wouldn't be able to go through it without having the flying ability. But it's only in that one level because it would break the rest of the game if you could fly. But funny thing, you are able to still fly over lava in this version of the game after you lose the main flying power. I'm not sure if you can do that in other versions of the game, but I know you can do it in this version. The PS1 version, you definitely can't. That I know, because I played that one. You definitely can't fly over lava after losing the flying power in that game. But you can fly over lava in this version, the PS2 version, Rayman Revolution. So, we finished the Fairy Glade. I think I want to maybe leave it at that.
Without you, the pirates would have captured me again.
Wasting pirates is good for my joints. Clark, it's another one of the awesome characters in this game. You meet him again later on. He's probably one of my favorite voices in this game. He's just so funny. So another thing that people, fans of the original version of the game, weren't too keen on this game, but I think it's kind of cool, is that you're able to... Oh, good night, Taina. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate you being here. We'll be done in a moment, so thank you so much for being here. So you're able to buy powers in this game, which is interesting, or different abilities to enhance your shooting. So, for example, you can use the shooting ability to... you can use the yellow lumps to purchase different upgrades to your abilities with the shooting and other things as well. So, for example, you have rebound, which allows your shots to rebound surfaces from surfaces. You have rate of fire, which is one of my personal favorites. I think that's a really, really, really good one because you're able to shoot more lumps more quickly. And accumulation part 1, so you're able to upgrade this one throughout the game, which is great. I personally like to buy either the rate of fire first or the rebound, because the rebound is very helpful because you end up hitting a lot of things that you can't reach with rebound sometimes, like cages for the teensies or like other enemies. Oh yeah, run with load. Run with load tends to be the last one I buy now because it's not so crucial. I'm not sure what fun means. So I don't have enough lums, unfortunately, to buy anything, so I'm going to have to just call it quits with that for now. Oops, I accidentally went back. Yeah, so some of these abilities, this is one of the criticisms like fans of the original version had of this. out of this version of the game is that um, the some of those abilities you just had them already at the start of the game. Well, not the start of the game, but once you get to like the fairy glade, like the rebounding of lums. I mean, the rebounding of the shots, you're able to do that right away, and your rate of fire is pretty fast right away too. The thing that gets upgraded as time goes on is like, you know, the power of your shots, and also like the ability to kind of charge up your shot, which is called accumulation, and also of course the flying power and all that. So a lot of fans of the original weren't happy that they sort of tied that to this you know, leveling up kind of RPG aspect where you have to get lums to upgrade your abilities and by purchasing them. But anywho, you know, I don't hate it. It's all right. I mean, sometimes, you know, I like to play the old version, but it's all right. So let's see. I have to go to the bayou. Now the bayou is a really fun level. It's very energetic, very like the bayou is a great level because it's so energetic and fun. Um, you know, it's one of the more like fast-paced levels in this game, but in like a really brilliant cold like kind of way. Let's see, is the bio here? Yep. So this is what I mean about the hub world. So you travel to these areas and you find the levels by traversing the overworld, or the hub world as they call it. Oops. Yeah, so the fairy glade was there. I like that it added like such a depth to the game in my opinion. Like it was so cool that you had to go looking through this large open world, like through this well, sort of an open world, but this hub world to find the levels, and I thought that was so cool. I mean, really freaking cool. And it makes everything feel sort of connected, which is really freaking awesome. I think the bayou's over here. Yep, the bayou's over here. It's funny because I could technically go to the March of Awakening first, but it is kind of, I would want to actually like go the levels in order sometimes. So they'll do cutscenes like this showing like Admiral Razorbeard's like ship and like what he's doing. Like how that one pirate just puts out his foot. There are some characters I think have better voice acting in the PS1 version. I think Razorbeard is just a bit better. And for some reason, he eats the 1,000th lum. That happens in every version of the game, except for the PS1, where he eats a red lum instead. But the yellow lum gets eaten by him for some reason. I guess for like energy or something. That's something he does in almost every version, besides the PS1 version, where he eats the red lum. But in the other versions, he eats the yellow lum, which is very interesting. So it lowers the total amount of lums to 1,000, which is interesting for some reason. Oops. Yeah. So I wanted to play this with the PS5 controller on purpose because the button layout will match what's supposed to be the PS2 version. It feels almost like they did a remaster for PS5. Nah, but it's really cool getting to play like these PS2 games on emulation using a PS5 controller. For anybody that's curious, I'm using DS4 Windows, which is a program that allows you to use PS4 and PS5 controllers on Windows by essentially making the computer think it's an Xbox 360 controller and thereby allowing it to natively work with X input games, which X input is what majority of games use. You know, not only emulation, you know, uses X input most of the time, even though D input is an option, but like Steam games, for example. Yeah. Wow. I'm like, I want to say thank you for everybody who's here. I can't believe I actually have 6 viewers. I don't think I've ever had this many viewers at the same time. So that's pretty freaking cool. Thank you very much for that. You know, for everybody that's watching, just updating you, we're playing Rayman 2 Revolution. This is in honor of the AIDS Walk, which is this month. I'm trying to play this game to completion, and there's donation. There's a link to donate in the bio of the video. If you can, if you're able to donate, please donate whatever you can at some point this month. It's an incredibly important cause that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And we're working towards that fight. All of us together. We're joining in this fight together. So I appreciate that. And yeah, we're playing Rayman 2 Revolution. A game that I love so dearly. It's one of my favorite games from my childhood. And Rayman, Rayman. I love Rayman very much. He is unfortunately a figure in video game that's disappeared in recent years. The last time a game of his was released was in 2013 with almost 10 years ago with Rayman Legends. Well, that's the last time a mainline game in his series has been released. They released a couple mobile games, like 2 of them, in the years that followed, but unfortunately, not a mainline game in the series since Legends. Which was a sequel to Origins, which is a kind of return to the 2D or the 2D form factor that Rayman had started off with its original game. I love how the poor mosquito just sounds like he has like terrible sinuses. This yellow guy is stronger. He takes much more hits to defeat. So he's sort of like a mini boss in a way in the stage. This is where something like Rate of Fire comes in handy. I could have shot off a bunch more, So he takes us to the Lost Island.
Okay, off we go.
For some reason, this version of the game's dialogue sounds a little lower than like the PS1 version. I'm not sure why that is, but we're gonna see if I can balance it better next time. Maybe lower the sound of the music. So this is a nice little thing there. That's when you get the rain mask, which is a different mask from the 4 that we're trying to find to Regabake and Polycus. You're able to create these plants. Sorry, a little bit stuffed sinuses, guys. You're able to like use the rain dance to create these like little flowers that take you to interesting like new places. Almost hit the laser. This poor Rayman, man. I'm getting this guy squished, yo. I'm not doing you justice, man. Poor Rayman. But it's just like one thing I love is these big like epic like environments. Like it's so dope. Nice. Freed up 5. I wonder where that goes. Let's see. Let's Now we're at the end of the stage, and cue the dance. The adorable dance. Yeah, so I think we're gonna pretty much leave it at here. Oh, we'll continue on tomorrow or maybe the next day. I'm gonna post about it on my Instagram page. I'm gonna see if I start doing that on Twitter as well. But appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much, and you have yourselves a great night. Okay, please donate in the link to the description if you can.